Are we live? We're live?
We're on.
All right, everybody. There's no way we can do any better than this. Last week we brought you 4 dudes in a little room. This week we're up to 5.
The standards are quickly, we're going to run out of space.
It's all downhill from here.
At this rate.
After this week, don't bother watching ever again. We have Michael, the one-drop cube Boland, behind me way back.
Hello.
We've got Stefan, the Ambort, for now.
That's mine.
current king of our current cube draft.
Yeah, he might actually have the most points. We haven't tallied him up yet. He just casually shows up and doesn't lose a match.
Let's just assume that I do.
All right.
Yeah.
And then for those of you that don't know this giant head of hair, it's Nathan Holliday. Congratulations, Grand Prix San Diego champion. Round of applause.
Thanks. I used to have that earlier.
Do you want me to be happier? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm happy about it.
If your picture from the mothership is any kind of barometer, you're mostly indifferent. It's the first time that
I'm very happy.
The trophy is right next to the guy's face, and they're just kind of hanging out. Like he's not overly excited.
The facial expression was, "How long do I have to hold this up?"
Kind of.
I liked the picture.
You were just
I thought it looked very happy. I don't know.
You're just distracted by the really cool venue, right?
All right.
I was distracted by the fucking spaceship. Can I swear?
Yeah, I swear. It's the internet. You can take your pants off if you want.
So
most of our listeners are the audio side only, so just remember you're going to have to narrate the pants taking off part.
Yeah.
Sure.
So we got a lot to get into tonight. We're going to talk about Nathan's Grand Prix win. We're going to talk about the MTGO cube changes. But as always, we're going to pop champagne.
Get this started.
Winning has happened.
So let's start.
It's important to point out that Nathan is a long friend of us. I remember playing Magic with him when it was the tiniest of the Jufros. He was just a young whippersnapper.
Small child, same size hair.
Yep.
Not really. It wasn't as always extreme as it is now.
I think it's scaled
proportional.
proportionally.
To the rest of you?
I would say so.
Take that into account, ladies. Those things being said,
you're fast. You're really fast.
So Nathan is here to not only talk about how Modern is a great format, because obviously he loves it, but how playing Cube could make you a better Magic player and hopefully maybe help you win a Grand Prix. I don't know.
Yeah,
and
I definitely played a lot of Cube and it helped me in Modern a lot. I mean, I was playing the blue-white, the not red gifts, the gifts without red. It's the only color I didn't play. It's basically just a Cube deck. You're playing a hell of a lot of one-ofs, and then you have something that brings it all together, like the gifts package. So, I was on eggs at first, and it wasn't positioned very well, and then I was on gifts in Modern, which is good but reactive. But I learned a lot about the format by attacking it from the basically Cube deck versus Modern angle, and then Tron, which is more proactive, but then was not quite as well positioned, and then back to eggs. So that was my general progression. Interesting.
So again, I come in and out of whatever is in the competitive Modern format, but to me, Modern speaks a lot as what Cube would be. I mean, Boland, I think you can speak to. Your team plays a lot of pod decks.
Yeah, I mean, those aren't necessarily insane in Cube. But
Often they're a birthing pod.
I'm not saying
4 birthing pods.
I'm not saying the card birthing pod equals a Cube deck.
Mostly one of utility guys.
Exactly. When your deck doesn't necessarily play on the combo fashion. When you're playing a pod deck, it's often a Cube deck.
It's just this fair rock deck.
Maximum number of decisions.
Also in Cube, I mean, you have survival and pod in the same deck or something.
You can.
Although I never do because I never draft green.
Well, we actually cut pod for Oath of Druids a while back.
Ugh.
Well, I like Oath of Druids. That's an unfair card.
Boland not a fan?
I don't know if I've ever won a game in which I've resolved that card. It's just instant loss for me every time.
When you cast Oath of Druids?
Yeah. That's bad.
Then you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
You didn't get one of the 2 cards in the cube meant to interact with it.
Alright, well let's start off with a pack, as we normally do.
Pack.
So
we're gonna look at a pack, and you're gonna tell us. So there's plenty of people. Our sample size is huge here today.
Yeah.
For what people think about it. So we're gonna show you 15 cards from the cube. This is your pick one, pack one.
That's cool. I like
Eck will read aloud what these 15 cards are, so all of our listeners who aren't here live know what's going on.
Alright, so today we have Ancestral Visions, Sensei's Divining Top, Oracle of Moldiah, Mortar Pod, Fulminator Mage, Karmic Guide, City of Brass, Bloodbraid Elf, Sublime Archangel, Raging Ravine, Bogardan Hellkite, Hymn to Torak, Maze of Ith, Isamaru Hound of Khanda, and Juzam Djinn.
Love me some nostalgia in this pack.
This is a very old school pack.
There's only one blue card.
Sure.
There's no mono red
crack a
card.
Legends booster.
There's a mono red card.
Which one?
There's a mono red
Okay.
card? What are you talking about?
No.
Mage is pretty good.
You're supposed to be the co-host. Do you think that's a mono red card?
There are only red
red.
symbols in it.
Yeah.
I mean, I would just take Ancestral Vision.
That's what I was going to go with.
I mean, it's the most powerful card in the pack.
Can I take the Sarah's Blessing that's
It's
on the
also
other computer?
blue, and I love that. And like,
No.
Damn it.
I'm trying to draft a Storm deck a lot of the time in the Moto Cube. I don't know if it's viable anymore, but it
So
was.
this is our
Not
This is our
Moto
cube.
This is our cube.
Oh, sorry.
You were playing Magic
because
today.
I knew we were going to talk about the Moto Cube.
We will be. That's
Yeah,
a
right.
good topic for later. But we were taking 15 cards out of
Oh.
the cube we play with every week.
Not that fast.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
I'd probably still take Vision because it's sick, but I wouldn't be thinking about drafting Storm because you don't have any.
Yeah.
Right.
So
That's a
I
topic
kind of
for
like just
another day.
taking Divining Top here.
Because you like to play 15-minute rounds.
Like I don't feel
50 plus.
like I'm comfortable
in time,
enough.
It's like a good extra.
So couldn't
10
you take
minutes.
Oracle and then wheel the top?
I mean,
Like-
the problem with taking Oracle is that like you are counting on something wheeling, right? Whether it's like Maze or Top or
I don't think so. I think if you take Oracle, you're just gonna like play
Just-
sweet green decks.
You're gonna just play green cards
What's a sweet green deck?
Not even necessarily sweet green decks. You could be playing sweet blue decks
Blue
with
deck.
an Oracle.
with Oracle in
Yeah,
it.
Let's
Yeah.
give it
Yeah.
Jace.
I mean, Top doesn't commit you to a color. You're gonna play it in almost every
So you can
deck.
see what people-
Like, and if you're familiar with the cube enough, it actually isn't like too detrimental to the speed of your rounds.
Mhm.
So like,
For anyone who suggests taking Isamaro here, I think you definitely take Sublime Archangel first.
yeah,
Karmic Guide if you're taking
And
white
Just
card.
kill
Are you
yourself.
kidding?
Don't play mono white.
Come
aggro
on.
Instead of
like
taking
playing-
Isamaro. That's my advice.
Karmic Guide is like good in the mono white deck as just like value, or you can like actually play a fun deck instead.
and
Well,
like Isamaru will come back like almost every time.
Not I mean, again. We can't talk in absolutes. There could be.
That's why I said almost.
Michael Bolin could be in your draft. Wait, no, not Michael Bolin.
No. There's
no
no more
more
card
card
here. I would just tag out of the draft.
The only time I draft mono white is when my black white decks fail.
Somebody said Bloodbraid Elf is tempting.
Bloodbraid Elf is very tempting.
It's a good card, but
I mean, it's a
hard
great
to
thing
cast.
to you know you can hit Ancestral Vision with it.
I don't know how.
It's also a green card, which is not a card that I like to play.
So you
I also
just
don't like
anti-green.
I draft.
And you're anti-green, but not on a power level. You're anti-green more on a philosophy of cube
Yeah.
level, I feel like.
I mean,
It's not broken enough.
You have already been mentioned in previous casts as being the #1 champion of Abyss Moat.
yeah.
When you-
I mean, that deck's not actually that great. I drafted it mostly for fun, which is kind of odd, maybe. But
That's what everybody thinks about when they think about fun.
Abyss and Mode.
Having a piss and moat in play.
It's fun for one
a
person.
bit. Well, no, I didn't have mode. I had my first picks were like, yeah, it was like Mazavith and then the Abyss, and
So-
then just like.
So do we just
oh,
say
Speaking-
Mazavith?
and try
Speaking of Mazavith, could we just
Yeah,
take Mazavith?
I was-
here?
If
was
I was
just
going to
gonna
take a
say-
I love
colorless
Maze
card,
Deck.
I would take Maze over Top. Because
What
I
about
just don't like
Mortarpod?
playing with Top.
I like Mortarpod a lot, but it's probably not first pick worthy.
I like Mortar Pot a lot too, but I can't
You'll
see.
probably
first-
wheel it.
I
I
can
can see
see.
first.
I can see 16th picking it if this was my second pack.
My vote would
Yeah.
be for anything that's not a like 4-drop or above. Aren't there like infinity of those that we can get at any point for our deck?
I mean,
know,
it-
my-
are they as good as Bloodbraid Elf or Oracle of
Yeah.
Moldiah or
Well,
Sublime
they're-
Archangel?
they're in the
Well,
cube,
you
so
could just
clearly
pick
they're very good.
2 4-drops and pick the Hellkite. I mean, it costs 8.
Oh my god, that's value right there.
Now, I think I can narrow it down. For myself, it would be Ancestral Vision, Oracle, and then probably Sublime Archangel. But to me, it's really between Ancestral Vision and
like-
Oracle in this pack.
Hinotaurek, if you want to get crazy.
Yeah, if
I
I,
mean,
wanted to just draft,
black cards.
if I was in like a mono black mood, which happens,
Right.
I
Like-
just slam him. and,
That's one of the
go
sweet
ahead.
things
And
about
then
this
wheel
pack.
either of the black cards.
That's one of the sweet
Wheel
things about this
Shazam.
pack is that it's not like too skewed in terms of one card being strictly better than a lot of the other ones. So you can kind of take like a card based on what you feel like playing,
Yeah.
as opposed to like, oh, I have to take this because it's the best card.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
you want to play blue, you take Visions. You want
Yeah.
to play green, you take Oracle.
You want to take red, you take.
Fulminator Mage?
Fulminator Mage.
Ugh.
I still
Bloodbraid
think
Elf?
I think
You
you
want
just
to play
don't
black,
play
you
red
take
if you...
you.
Bloodbraid's a
you
good
take
pack
Hinotaurek.
on red if you
Like-
splash it.
You can kind of go in any different direction. I like Maze.
I think Maze is worth considering. I definitely think that in the deck that Nathan just mentioned, and I think that it kind of leads into a conversation about Mazavith. Is it a land? Is it a spell? Is it an awkward thing in between?
I think,
One of those is clearly right.
Maze.
I don't know. I don't know if
One
those is clearly
one
right.
or all of them.
Maze to me feels like, it obviously doesn't lock you into a color, but it locks you into like an archetype kind
It's
of.
like you're not going to take Mazavith and then take Goblin Guide, and they'll never be in the same deck.
Right.
Like it's just very awkward. By taking Mazavith, sure, you're not committing to a color, and you've taken a card that goes in any technically in any deck. But there's a ton of decks and archetypes. You just completely shut off by first taking Mazavith.
Yeah, it's certainly true.
And I really don't want to do that first.
I
A
mean,
lot of times I do want to do that. I don't know.
That's because you're the guy who just talked about how you just want to play Abyss all the time.
Just like force a certain
I mean,
archetype.
sometimes I want to play mono red aggro, but like in Hugh, I usually want to I decide what I want to do and then I do it, unless like something really weird happens.
Yeah.
My vote is for Ancestral Vision, I think, straight up.
Okay.
I mean, again, when you guys snapped this off, it was Ancestral Vision. So
Yeah.
we'll say 2 strong votes from the fuzzy-haired community for
that matters.
Ancestral Vision. We'll go to the wavy-haired community.
wavy it, alright. I think I still want Maze of It here, just because it leaves me the most open. I don't really want to play aggro anyway.
Okay. Eck?
Like, I'm fine with Maze. I'm fine.
I don't care what you're fine with. What are you taking?
I guess I'm just taking Maze of It and playing Control.
It's unanimous. Us wavy-haired folk and our mazes.
I'm not like...
You're the tiebreaker.
Hair.
I am a tiebreaker.
Straight hair.
I'm going Oracle of Moldiah, so you guys...
You're taking a strict losing vote.
Rabble.
You're taking a strict losing
Look,
vote.
sometimes you vote for Alfader and it doesn't matter.
Sorry, Mom.
Alright.
Your mom's mouth.
Yeah, we are in Central California.
Okay.
That's
So,
hilarious.
I just to me, it's a great thing about Cube. It's hard to be clearly wrong.
right.
You can open a pack of Gate Crash and you can be clearly wrong.
Yeah, but like
I'm sorry, not a Gate Crash draft.
any cube pack
Although-
that like doesn't have power in it, like has like 4-ish at least cards that like have strong arguments for them. It feels like at least some even more.
I think the irony there is I'm taking Oracle Moldiah with the intent to take blue cards because there's only one blue card in the pack I'm passing.
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, Oracle is amazingly good in blue.
Yeah.
I like Mortar Pod in blue decks too. I don't know. It's the little. Maybe I'm gonna change my vote to the little artifact that goes in every deck.
I will say if we were to go around the room as far as what drafters tend to draft, I think it's more like garbage, control,
Stagger shot.
mono red, weird control.
I mean, I definitely have full control over the weird.
Stefan is the champion of the 4-color Swans deck.
Yeah.
You have made that thing work more than anyone else.
Yeah.
The cube.
Oh, there's
Oh,
definitely
yes.
swans, and you got
You
Life
draft
from
this cube
Alone
more.
and Seismic Assault.
Yeah.
and
I think
that's
I
about
also
it.
draft just like really weird aggro or like control aggro.
As long as
Like,
it's weird.
Blue red like with Blistering Firecat and like Cryptic Command is like one of my favorite archetypes.
So
Is
you
that,
like
is that a good archetype?
you like crossing your
If you
fingers
get-
on
If you
mana?
get a good one of those decks, it's impossible.
And by good, you mean has Volcanic Island, Cascade Bluffs, and Friends?
Jace.
yeah, although you actually morph the Firecat if you have it.
Ah.
That's like my favorite thing ever.
Because
Favorite thing ever has been.
yeah.
You don't just like slamming turn 4 7/1 on your control deck.
You block and then you unmorph it.
like,
Like
take
if
that,
you-
your giant guy that was attacking me that I'm just sitting around waiting for.
There's a
Yeah.
Spark Trooper control
But
deck in
it's-
blocks
it's-
that you'd like probably.
Really?
Actually,
No, I
like
should check
4
it out.
Spark
I have
Troopers.
to figure out what's going on in blocks.
Nice.
Yeah, you'd probably play that.
This is a good time to point out for everyone watching live and maybe listening and wondering what all these sounds are that it's oftentimes hard for us to eat anything on Cube Nights. As the draft starts at 6, we get out of here and we're trying to rush as
It's
fast as we
serious-
can.
Serious business.
It is.
Constantly focused on the Magic.
We have a
It's
quick
true.
question.
It's not to
Who's your
mental
jersey of?
Oh, it's Saku Koivu. It's like, we'll go this way.
There you go.
Saku Koivu. That's who we got today. Okay, well, there's our pick-a-pack. A 2-2-1 vote today in the
The
hair
wide
off.
in the wide.
I don't feel like anything's
Was
wrong.
that pack bad? Was I right? in
That
thinking
pack was
is
not
weak?
great.
I think Vision's really good. I don't know. That's just me.
But like on average, is that
I mean,
above or below average?
I would say
like-
that pack is slightly below power level.
Yeah.
full disclosure, we do make the cube packs so that they're not obvious.
There's not like an ancestral and then 14 of those.
Yeah.
We don't like put some cards and then like a box because it's
Oftentimes
stupid.
when I'm building these, I'll take like 3 to 5 cards and be like, these are controversial. And then I'll just like hit random a bunch of times. And if
you
like
get some
Sapphire comes up, I'll be like, okay, well, let's not talk about that.
Yeah.
Obviously any of these packs, we could just see a piece of power and be like, well, just take this Mana Crypt.
So they're on average pretty much every time we look at them gonna be weak.
It's
packs.
got to be a conversation starter.
Yeah.
I mean, one of these weeks when we're like really pressed for time, it'll be like Lotus and 14 Magic cards. And we'll be like,
Soul Ring,
I
that
still
is-
like Oracle.
Yeah.
Or we can,
See,
double.
I feel like you can make a
That's a
debate over
greedy
that.
Good, we'll have you on that week.
Okay. I feel like I've lost more games where I've cast Black Lotus
Then you've cast Oracle.
than I've cast Oracle.
Interesting.
We
Did I just say that without thinking?
We live in different worlds.
No, I think
that
it's
might
true.
be true for you.
I think the
don't
only
know.
time I've ever cast Black Lotus was like I turned to Nemesis of Reason. I got like plowshared and that was it. That was the end of the game. I lost. So.
That's because you
Weird,
took
dude.
Oracle too many times.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Kenny is very adamant that Ancestral Vision is not the first pick there.
What does he think it is?
What did
Did
he
he tell
say?
us?
He was really into Cydia Brass.
I kind of thought that too, but that like keeps your options open. But
Yeah.
can we
I'm
just
a
say
big-
Is that a more options open? That is
Wait,
okay.
really?
I'm gonna go ahead and declare that is a more options open pick than Maze of Ith.
Oh,
Yes.
for sure.
definitely
Really?
is.
Says the
like-
two guys who clearly
would
want
just-
Maze of Ith.
I would
But
just-
no,
I agree.
Is it more options open than Mortar?
I don't know.
I'm not saying that the
I
other
don't
person who
would never ever put City of Brass in my deck, like ever.
Yeah.
Ever?
Yeah.
Ever?
Like ever.
So, you are the same person that wants to play Blistering Firecat and Cryptic Command in the same
City
game.
of Brass. I leave that one on the sidelines.
I value life total very highly. I don't know, like
That's
I
because you're playing these awkward mana blue-red decks.
I like killing them, and I hate killing myself. I don't
So
know.
you
are not
the
alone
people
there.
that they got rid of the core set duels for.
It's your fault. We can't have Underground River.
I miss my Yamamaya.
I think City, like, for as many decks as Maze of Ith is going to go into, City's going to go into even more.
Right.
So, like,
Could cast it
if
off
you
on
want,
your
if you
call.
want to
Cast my land.
delay making a decision for another pick, City is a perfectly fine pick. I just think like Maze of Ith is so good in control decks that I'm willing to commit to like control as a general archetype.
That's what I was about
without
to
a
say.
color.
Yeah, like the options that taking Maze first limits aren't options that I would ever want to play in Cube, really, because like I don't know,
You drafted Mono Red.
except for that one. But there were the only mono red card was Begarden Hellkite apparently. So
Oh,
I'm
well.
not,
There just
I'm
wasn't
not
a good
thinking
one.
mono red.
Our Mono Red expert declared. There was
Declared.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting story about City of Brass. I played against City of Brass at the GP. My opponent went turn 1 City go,
Oh my
and
god.
I'm like, what's going on? I
That
don't
seems like a
understand.
pretty city play.
Ah.
So anyway, he ends up being Living End, and he cycles a bunch of stuff, misses a bunch of land drops, and taps the city like 1,000 times. And he has Fairy Macabre for my Lotus Bloom, so like I can't really go off. But he puts himself to 5 with City of Brass and Street Raids, so I just like Sunrise and bomb him out like without going
not even a
infinite.
combo,
five.
just like
Without going infinite. I
reactivation.
Shock you
I'd
3 times.
Never ever done that before. It's like it was really strange.
No, when you play enough Magic,
Powerful.
these things will happen.
Well,
Yeah.
his sideboard plan is my favorite part of this story.
Oh God.
Suppression field only, no living ends.
I mean, it's probably not the worst ever because you can cast some big fatties, but I don't
Some
know.
4/4s for 5.
I
These
mean,
guys are sweet.
I
They
can't
get
kill
a lot
them.
of people.
They're going to kill me. But like, I don't know. It was weird that it was suppression field. If it would have been like Rest in Peace, or like,
You can't do rest in peace.
well, he's not living any anymore.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Like Rest in Peace or like Stony Silence, then maybe. But like, it didn't lock me out. It just slowed me down and slowed him down.
When I used to play Living End,
weird.
it's just Leyline of the Void that I wanted for that.
Yeah,
I didn't have to take
I
all my
brought an
living
Echoing
ends.
Truth for
Yeah.
Leyline, but like, not for suppression field.
Yeah,
I did not expect
This
that.
guy's a maverick.
I like Damping Matrix. I like that a Damping Matrix in Living End.
Well, but the thing is, you can't cascade into that. That was his plan. Like,
Right, yeah.
get these
Oh,
suppression
I
fields in
finally
there.
get it!
Yeah. He
Oh!
completely changed plan. He took out all of his living in.
I understand why it took you a while. It's not very good or intuitive.
Yeah.
I don't know. It might have been. I don't know. He seemed like a good player, so I assumed there was something to
And
it.
he must have been like 5-0 or whatever at the time.
Yeah, he was. It was in day 2.
Oh, jeez.
Like X1. So yeah.
Huh.
It was round 1 of day 2.
The magic of magic. That's all I have to say right there. Let's bring it back to Cube, though.
Sure, sounds good.
No, I mean, more stories from the GP are good.
Yeah.
I just had a
lessons-
related one to our like cube cards. So.
Yeah, totally.
Now, have you guys played much MTGO Cube? Show of hands.
I played a lot.
Yeah. How do I show how much I played? Oh, I like that. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I would have just gone with hand up, but
Not as much as
Wavy?
Ball and
slightly
Barrel,
wavy to the side works.
but quite a bit.
Yeah.
Now, MTGO Cube in general, I'm a fan of. I do have some hang-ups about it. I think the most notable ones are the what's it killing you to not have it on all the time? And way worse than that, or more important than that, is why aren't Cube tickets tradable?
That's
Yeah.
a big problem. I
I
converted
feel
most
like-
of my actual tickets into Cube tickets. I was like, what have I done?
Yes,
the next
during-
week, they're just...
During the holiday Cube, I
God.
at one point had 40 Cube tickets and no
Yeah.
dollars.
And then they took Cube away.
And you couldn't... They just sat there in your account.
Like-
Right.
Yeah, that's a problem.
I have heard this argument.
Right now.
Excuse me?
I have a bunch of cube tickets right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
but
But I
no
can't
moral of
trade
the
them.
story
I
is
can't
who
trade
does
them
it.
off you.
Yeah.
Like
is,
the-
is Cube live right now?
No.
I've been on
They
MTGO.
gave
What I
us
don't
one
underst-
free day of Cube.
What
Yeah,
I don't
that's
understand
actually-
about the Moto Cube
Disaster.
and like the up and down nature of it is, like, I hear people like, are you like, oh, you know, it keeps it more special and more people do it. How does keeping MPGO Cube live 24/7 make them less money?
We just aren't excited about it. We're not feeding the hype machine. It's not like you and I are carving out a week of our life to play it. Otherwise, we'd just be like, meh, maybe I'll draft.
I mean,
maybe
when it-
I'll jack it. Who cares?
When it is
You do
live,
both.
when it does finally go back
Yeah.
live again, like, I'm going to be doing it nonstop and streaming it, too.
Right.
I can't
They've
wait
got
for it
you.
to come back.
They've got you.
But, like, I could do that right now if it was live.
But you wouldn't be doing it all the time.
I'd be doing it every day.
All right.
Well, they also do. They update the cube and then bring it back, and then
Yeah.
like update it and bring it back. So it's they'd have to like if it was there continuously, they'd have to take it down at some point.
Yeah, I
don't
mean,
know.
it really makes me wish there was like a time every week that MTGO went down for a little while.
Oh, like
they could
every other
change
day.
things.
like they could make changes.
Yeah.
So when Cube originally came out, before it even hit MTGO, I was asking MTGO support staff, people like Aaron Forsyth, how is it gonna work? Where are there Cube packs? Because on the initial announcement there was a cute little Jace on the picture of a pack, and I was like, oh sweet, Cube packs. And I just kind of assumed like those would sit on your account. Maybe if you opened them, they just turned into dust or something. But you could have them, you could enter queues with them. And instead it was like, no, you get tickets to enter, and you get paid out in cool old prizes. And at first, it was awesome. We had time spiral drafts, and the time spiral drafts were Nick's Ticks. You could kind of go infinite on those drafts for a couple of weeks. They were cards that were in the modern format. They were feeding the modern format online.
Yeah.
It was next to heaven. And after that first time it came through, it was like...
Bold statement.
queuing all the time? Are they getting the time spiral draft for free?
That was a sweet draft.
Yeah,
All right.
Yeah, almost as good as West Virginia. So... after that, I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like, let's do more of this. Like, next time bring it back. Like, get some Shadowmoor Eventide on there.
Yeah.
Because, I'm not 100% of the numbers. We'll have to talk to, like, MTGO Academy or something. But I'm pretty sure those were the sets that are the smallest that are in Modern as far as they're also...
In terms of amount open.
Cold Snap. Have you beat... Bring back Cold Snap Draft.
I did some Cold Snap. The last
I
time
love Cold Snap Draft.
Cold Snap
I could
drafts
talk about that for an
reward
hour.
you cube tickets.
Yeah.
Either way,
I would do so many of them.
I was still really amped on it. I was like, okay, this is going to be cool. Then there's an announcement saying, we're going to get cube tickets. And at first I was like, oh, this makes sense. I'm going to walk up to a cube, I'm going to give it like 2 event tickets and a cube ticket,
Or whatever.
and I'll get into the draft. I was like, well, it's a ticket to cube. Like,
Yeah.
when you go to the concert, it's like, whoa, it's going to take, Eck, we need 6 Kesha tickets to get into this Kesha
17
concert.
concert tickets?
Yeah. Your one Kesha ticket could not get you in the concert.
No,
Good
like
luck.
it's more like a theme park where
If-
you
yeah.
have
Yeah,
to have
it's like going to
tickets
board
ride
ride.
this ride.
Yeah.
All right, so a bit of a...
tickets. I would take some.
Excuse me?
If Cube tickets were
I was
redeemable
just
for
saying that
Kesha tickets,
I would take some
queue
Kesha.
way
I would
more.
take some Kesha tickets if you had them.
I saw her a couple of years ago. I did not see her on her most recent trip through
Really?
California.
Yeah, it's
Glitter
a shame.
cannon.
So
Glitter
jealous.
cannon. Glitter cannon.
I am jealous too.
That's how she ends the show.
I
That's
assume-
awesome.
I don't wanna give it away.
Out of a glitter cannon?
No.
I just assumed that.
So, I'm seeing this thing, and I was like, okay, well, I can roll with the punches with this. Let's get a cube ticket. Comes out, and all of a sudden they have this really strange system where you need 10, and
It's
you get
really
6,
arbitrary.
and sometimes you get 8, and you never really have enough.
It
It's
changed
just like,
how it worked every time that there was Cube.
and also it seems like almost explicitly designed like the hot dog buns problem of like you never get the
But
same
why would you
amount.
specifically set it up to fuck you like that? It's all coming from one source. It's not like Oscar Mayer is having a problem with Wonder Bread being
Right.
like, hey, your people
But
call
that's
my
what I mean.
people.
Like, why set it up in such a way that it just constantly screws with you and like leaves you with these awkward like remainders or
Because that causes people to buy event tickets from the store, which is like not something that often happens.
Which is
I don't know.
which is like, okay, we're gonna make these things happen. The economy will continue to roll. But I'm like, okay, well, I have 3. Eck has 7. We actually cannot end up with an odd number of cube tickets on your account right now.
Yeah.
I have 4. Eck has 6. That's okay. Trade the rest one direction. We have a cube draft.
oh, you can't.
Sorry, sir.
So instead of having cube booster packs that would disintegrate and turn into nothing when you opened them, instead of giving us old booster packs that we could use for something else, cube tickets, they become a piece of the economy.
Yeah.
We can give amongst each other and we can make drafts happen. No.
Yeah.
And now I'm really kind of miffed and a little annoyed by this system.
I mean,
it's kind
it-
of turning me off to cube drafts.
Yeah,
It's just
would
like-
you be happy with it if they were just tradable.
I
if they were
love.
just tradable,
That would be
the,
like
the market would
the
correct
only
itself.
fix.
Yeah.
It's not the only fix,
Well,
but
but
it's
like,
an
would
easy
you be happy
fix.
with that?
Yeah, I mean, I was
is fine.
perfectly happy and ready for when you win a cube queue, you get paid out in booster packs just like you would for Gate Crash,
Sure.
and you have 4 cube packs on your account. You could sell them just like you could sell packs. You could open them and they would turn into nothing because there's nothing in there. I mean, you'd be dumb to do that.
yeah.
Or you could go in,
Something like
you could re-enter the queue, 2 tickets, 3 cube packs. To me, that makes sense. Now, the workaround between having a virtual booster pack that actually has nothing in it, because even the Gate Crash booster packs online actually have nothing in them, you just call them cube tickets, and life goes on.
Yeah. Like if the reward of like drafting cube is like 4 cube tickets or whatever,
It's
and it
just
takes just 3 of them to enter or whatever.
The reward
So
of
like
drafting cube is drafting more cube.
yeah.
Like, that's what like
Right,
it
like-
is.
And you're still feeding the monkey, man. You still have to give the real tickets
And like
to get
if
in.
cube
It's
tickets
not-
are tradable, they can even be used as like
Well, you can go.
like an exchanged
It's very
form of
hard.
currency.
Yeah, it's...
Like you could be like selling this for like 10 tickets or 20 cube tickets or whatever, like some
Yeah.
equivalent value of them is. Like
They might even become the dime.
Right, they can be kind of like the
number.
quarter. Like, you can be change,
Ah.
effectively.
Here's your 1 ticket and your 2 cube tickets.
I mean, like, how many times do you go on, like,
Sure.
bots when you're looking for cards and stuff is, like,
You give them a fractional ticket.
0.3872 tickets, and, like, okay, we'll track it for you or whatever, but,
Yeah.
like, if they were just smaller denominations,
I mean,
wouldn't that
if
just
you
work?
just
That seems less relevant.
never
though.
come back to a bot.
If you just use the same
Lost
bot
money.
all the time, that's
Yeah.
like not a problem.
But I'm-
the
I
same
mean-
set of bots. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's, like, at the same time, like, it can't hurt.
That's true.
Like, I just feel like the way Cube is governed online is, like, the worst way that they could be doing it.
I don't think it's the worst way, but it's not the
It's
greatest
pretty
way.
bad.
Wanted to
But
give distinct
much
guidance.
like our Pavlovian response, it comes back, we're ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
We got an update telling us what has changed in the MTGO Cube, which is kind of our main topic today, other than Nathan Holiday, and then branching off into our other special guests, because,
Very special.
Very special.
you know, to be fair, Michael Boland, you will be on for your own episode.
Oh,
'Cause you,
good.
I don't want to tease too much, but you are, as far as I'm concerned, the master of the one-drop cube.
Yeah, me and
that's a
my
good point.
small group of friends who have drafted it more than anyone else in the world.
Yes,
Yes.
so
I've
you'll
drafted that
get to have your
couple
own.
times.
I will be honored.
You'll sit front and center, and
So you have
So-
Goldraz Assassin is the best card.
I
So I'm
want to
gonna
see
pull
what.
up-
I haven't really looked at this, so like I'm kind of curious.
That's
I'm gonna
okay.
pull
Let's all look at it with new eyes. If you guys need to get closer to the screen,
This is
or-
the changes from the mod.
Is this where Candace was cut? Yes! Yes! I laughed at this
Wow.
card so many times.
We got his live response.
Okay. So this is the list. This is the list of cuts and additions for each color. So we'll
Now,
go through white
yeah,
first.
a lot of it makes sense. A lot of it.
Because just high on.
I'm high on No Storm Hate.
I guess. I mean, there's not like a. We'll go color by color. So we've lost some of the random
Fencing ace?
hosers. Oh yeah, and fencing ace.
What,
yes.
what is up with that?
Probably
These are the-
randomly
we're-
hosted your deck when
We're
it's
on the
cheap.
cut side.
So, like these are all. I mean, like I feel like a lot of this is
I like
in
Renewed
response to maybe like
I like Renewed Faith too, but it's like,
Like-
if we played with a 2,000 card cube, we'd have it, but we don't.
Screw Pulse of the Fields. Get that out of there.
Forge,
agree.
like
That
Forge
card's
Tender
annoying.
coming out, 2 life gain spells coming out, Sultari Priest coming out. This is a lot of stuff that to me,
I won't miss any of those cards.
just from this, is like okay, now red's better.
Maybe. I don't know if the Priest is good against red, but all the other ones are. Certainly Renewed Faith is very
It's not like
good.
Renewed Faith
Pulse
is like
very
awesome
good.
against red. It's
Yeah.
just-
And red is, right?
Even Pulse of the Fields.
Yeah,
you're
I
not
know,
gonna,
it's all this
start their Pulse of the
coincidental
Fields.
hate. So on the outside, there's nothing. Look at those 17 cards. Is there any there that you're really sad to see go from the MTGO cube?
No.
I mean, I like Lawkeeper.
I mean, anything that we still have in our cube, I'm not like the hugest fan of. Like, yeah, I like Lawkeeper.
I'm sad to
Mickey K. Like, we just started playing with him, and he seems fine.
Increasing Devotion is still in your cube?
Oh yeah, that
Oh,
card's
yeah. That
sweet.
card's
actually,
awesome.
yeah. Okay, so I think if I was to complain about one of these 17 cards, I would say like, hey, increasing devotion win games.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. I really like Increasing Devotion, but there's also a lot of other effects that are just like that, or very similar, that make a lot of 1/1s, so I don't know how many other ones
I mean,
there are.
You also
the MTGO cube is 720 cards. Like our cube is 700 cards, so it's a pretty close comparison.